What's up, Wikimaniacs? I got an update for you today. Stay tuned. Reddit on Wiki starts now.
Get therapy.
What's going on, Wikimaniacs? It's your boy Josh here, hosting an Am I the Asshole Friday, of course, joined with John and Sean. What's going on, boys?
Starting us off with edging the Wikimaniacs,
Whoa,
Josh.
an update.
A little bit of a tease. It's going to come at the end of the episode, just in case you haven't listened to the previous episode. The update
Y'all gotta wait.
won't make sense. So,
Yeah.
but what's going on, guys? How's it going?
It's Monday. We're recording. Ooh, I watched Sinners last night, and it was such
No
a
spoilers, please.
damn good movie.
Is it
So good.
okay on a scale of 1 to 10 horror rating? What is it? Because I'm trying to get Sienna to go see it with me.
I heard
Look,
it's not horror at all. It's more action.
It's not the typical horror that you're thinking of.
Okay.
Yes, when I think of horror, it's like, you got the jump scares here and there. There might be a little bit, but it's not the conventional type. It's you got to watch it twice, in my opinion, to like get all the symbolism. But me, I cheated and fucking just Googled
Looked
everything.
it up.
And
Yeah.
holy shit! Like looking back at the scenes, you're like, this shit is deep, bro.
Damn. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I'm
Oh.
super excited to see it.
Michael B. Jordan played that role perfectly.
And the other role.
And the other role as well. It was the whole cast could stand in its own leg, like just because it was
Damn.
that damn good when it comes to casting. I highly recommend it.
I'm excited.
And plus, I saw people like saying like it triggered a lot of like MAGA people, so I'm like, I like this even more.
Double down.
Hell
I
yeah.
like it.
I watched Thunderbolts, which I hear is not as good as Sinners, but it was pretty good.
Damn.
Wait,
So that has me excited for Sinners because I like Thunderbolts quite a bit.
Did they legit change the title of the movie?
No spoilers, but they spoiled their own damn movie, I guess.
I
But
heard
yeah,
that.
so if you know the spoiler, then yes.
Wow.
Okay, so that's not just like a publicity thing. It's like legit.
No,
They
but I guess
changed
you
it?
can watch the movie to find out how that goes about.
Yeah.
And then the post-credit scene is good as well.
Okay.
That one's directed. Apparently the post-credit scene, like the very end, the second one, because there's always two, was directed by the Russos and will
Ooh.
tie in the next Avengers movie. So
All right. It's about time because the last few Marvel
the last
projects.
3 years of post-credit scenes have been nothing.
Dog.
Nothing is connecting. Nothing makes sense. It's about time.
Okay. So I'm excited for both those movies. I'm gonna
Yeah,
check
I would
them
say
out.
watch Thunderbolts first
Mm.
because everybody that I know that watched Sinners first watched Thunderbolts and was like, "It's fine, but it's not Sinners good." And I'm like, "Yeah, I get it."
Wait, I'll say this, Josh. Sienna doesn't like scary movies like that, right?
No.
Juliet hates scary movies and she loved it.
Okay, cool. I will go back with this information and
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll be
That's
down to
good
watch
news
it.
for me. I'm watching with my mom who loves scary movies, and I totally pitched this to her as like, "This is the new popular scary movie," so she's gonna be very disappointed, I think.
Yeah. If
Or
you
just
love
be happy with a good movie.
Yeah.
if you love history and a lot of symbolism within, like you're trying to like rack your brain, trying to figure out, oh, what does this mean? It's gonna be your type of movie. It's deep, and I loved it.
Damn. I'm excited.
Welcome to Reddit on Wiki Film Review. I just watched Conclave as well. That one was pretty good.
Man, it sounds like you guys had a great weekend. Mine was less than stellar.
I can't wait to hear. We got a little teaser. He edged us as well before
We
recording.
did.
Yeah. So when you're in your 20s, you throw your back out. You're working out or you're doing some sort of like yard work or something.
Sort of what? Sort of what? Blowing your back
No.
out? No, sort of.
I'm going to be quite honest with you. Even in my 20s, I've never been active enough to blow my back out.
Okay. Well, I know John also has a bad back, so I'm relating more to him maybe, but because my back's been terrible my whole life, but that's what happens. Like you're working out and you throw it out or something like that. So Thursday, I got my first old man throw out back where I got out of the shower and I was like toweling off, Don't
That's
picture
a
it
good
too
visual.
much. Don't
I'm
picture it too
picturing
much.
the fuck out of that now.
And I'm like,
Ricked up.
oh, I should dry my legs off like an adult, And so I go down.
Wait,
and-
what do you usually do?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay. I was like, wait.
I just let it air dry, No, so I bend over and I just hear a pop and I'm like, oh God. So for the whole weekend, my back was in terrifying pain, and I was just like, oh my God, I can't move. It wasn't until like yesterday midday that I could walk and stuff like that. And,
Jesus Christ.
You old crusty fuck.
I know.
Are you putting shit on it like icy hot or Salon Pass?
Both. And then I'm like,
Salon Pass be hitting, bro.
Or Tiger Balm also is good.
I've got the icy hot. I've got a cold press, hot press as well. And so I've just been alternating things like that. And it's feeling better. I'm feeling much better, which is great.
Okay.
I'm going to be in Vancouver actually when this episode comes out. So I don't want to be
in pain
wounded.
during that.
So,
brother, if you were here in town, I would have let you borrow one of my recovery tools. That shit will fix you right up.
that would
You have
be
one
nice.
for your back?
I have all the attachments, brother.
Oh, shit. I thought it was just a leg thing. I didn't know it goes to your back.
I have the hip, the back, and the arms. I look like Bubble Boy when I fucking have those shits on.
That's fucking fire. The one character in SpongeBob.
Oh,
Everything is broken. All the lips.
Yeah, that's me.
That would have
That's
been me
fire.
this weekend. I could have used that for sure. But yeah. Anyway, so it was not a great weekend for me. But yeah, with that old man story out of the way, let's hop into the first real stories of today.
Let's do it.
First one is posted by Hexel Puff on AITAH. Title is, Am I the asshole for finding out I've been unknowingly paying rent to my husband and his mom for 2 years?
And his mom.
Nah, hell nah.
What do you mean by that?
Hell nah. You got me fucked up.
2 years is insane.
So I wonder if she thought they bought the house and then their agreement was that she pays the mortgage, but really it's the mom that owns the house and she's just paying rent.
This is dude,
Somehow worse than that, actually, I think.
Jesus Christ.
me and Juliet have been like binging I Love a Mama's Boy, and this is
Mm.
this is kind of what
Yeah.
this is
That's
right
a reality TV show?
now. Yeah, dude, it's really bad. Like
Tough.
it's so cringe. Like I hate everyone in that show.
But you know what you should do for the next brownies is just format those people as Reddit stories.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah, but
That'd be
that
fine.
requires me to work.
That would be a lot of work. That would be a lot of work. What you could do is give the summaries to somebody and we hire them to write it.
Oh, there we go.
As a
That's a
Reddit post.
good idea.
I like that.
It won't happen.
That could be money for our pockets, John.
That's true. That's true.
All right. So I, 31 female, have been married to Brian, 33 male, for 2 years. Right after the wedding, we moved into an apartment he said was a, quote, great deal from a family friend.
His mom.
We agreed to split rent and utilities 50-50 to keep things equal since we were starting fresh and wanted to avoid money fights. So I've been sending him $700 a month just for the rent this whole time. 3 days ago at a barbecue, I overheard his mom talking about how it's nice getting rent from Brian's place and how smart they were to keep it in the family. Turns out his mom owns the apartment and Brian's on the deed too. I had no idea. He never told me. He just let me keep paying rent for like 2 years, like a clueless roommate. When I confronted him, he said I never asked and that I'm overreacting because we weren't overpaying, but I feel completely blindsided. It's not just the money, it's the secrecy.
Yeah.
I told him I won't keep paying until we talk about a fair setup, and now he's acting like I'm the problem. So am I the asshole?
No. You've been lied to. Your marriage started off immediately with lies.
Yeah,
How is that
from day
not
one.
a problem? I don't know how not to overreact to that, really.
I'm still gonna go not the asshole for this one because the secrecy part is kind of shitty.
Yeah.
But wait, so she's saying she doesn't really care about paying, but she's mad that it was kept a secret from her, right?
That seems to be the biggest thing. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean,
Okay,
go on.
I don't know if I don't know if there's more details, but I don't know if she's assuming just because the mom owns the property that they don't have to pay rent. That's the vibe that I'm getting. I could be wrong, but
I think it's really the lies thing because she even said it's like it's not even the money so much as the secrecy.
That's what I'm saying. If that's the case, if it's a secrecy, then yeah, definitely not the asshole. Like I feel like you should disclose that with your partner. But if she wants to like just not pay for rent because a family owns it, then I'm gonna be like I'm a little sussed out about that.
no, I don't think that's the reason. I think it's the lying. I also do think on top of that, it's like because Brian is also on the deed, right? And so it's like we're married now. Like if this is partially your place as well, put me on the deed so that we can be putting this money towards our future. I'm not just paying off your goddamn house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think the secrecy is the biggest thing, but I think that also is like the underlying. I'm paying off your house, whereas if like we have a divorce, 5 years down the line, I'm not getting any of my money back because that's all in your name. You know what I mean? It's hard to prove that because it's been just you're sending him $700 with no receipts or anything like that.
True.
So it's like financial manipulation in a way.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah, for sure.
And Reddit agreed, said not the asshole. Death Ray said, it's not even that you didn't ask. He said it was a family friend. It wasn't him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is true. A family friend is kind of weird. It's like, it ain't a family friend if it's your mother.
Yeah. Because she also might make a different decision if it's like, oh yeah, this is one my mom owns. It's like, okay, well, I don't feel comfortable renting from your parents or whatever it happens to be. She might make a different decision in that moment.
It's just like you lied because you knew that, there's something weird about it.
Mm-hmm.
So then whenever your partner finds out, you can't be like, well, you're overreacting. I just lied. I only lied to you for 2 years. What's the big deal?
Kara's going off on that toy. I'm sorry. I'm distracted.
I moved a little bit so everyone can get a view.
Aw. And then Device Motor 3938 said, I bet she's the only one paying quote unquote rent.
Ooh.
To which OP responded and said, yeah, he's never shown me his half of the rent going anywhere. I'm starting to think I was the only one paying anything. So
then for sure, that is not that. Yeah, that's divorce worthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah. Because that's, you're literally just paying off his house and not getting any of the benefit of that also going towards like your future. So
agreed.
Pretty sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to the next one, posted by Triple Digit Man. Posted on Am I the Asshole? Title is, Am I the asshole for not letting my neighbor's kid ruin my lawn in the name of imagination?
Man, fuck that kid, bro. Don't ruin my lawn.
Don't touch anything that's mine, actually.
Imagination.
Man, imagine in your own goddamn lawn.
Yeah, isn't the whole point of imagination that you don't need anybody else's? You don't need anybody else's anything.
SpongeBob looking motherfucker. Get the fuck off of my lawn, kid.
You'd be in a parking lot and just imagine the lawn.
Go to the park.
Yeah.
There's plenty of lawn there.
Exactly. All right. So I live in a quiet suburban neighborhood with your standard backyard, some grass, a few old trees, a weathered shed. Nothing fancy, but I try to keep it tidy. I'm on polite but not close terms with my neighbors. We wave, sometimes chat about the weather, and that's about it. There's a family 2 doors down with a boy who's maybe 9 or 10. Lately, he's gone full pirate mode. I mean fully committed. Eye patch, cardboard sword, yelling, "Ye be cursed," at squirrels. And honestly, it's pretty wholesome.
Yeah.
At first.
Okay.
Then I started noticing small holes in my yard. Just little ones near the fence that I assumed were raccoons. But then the holes got bigger. One morning I went out and found the ground behind my shed completely torn up, with clumps of grass tossed around and a map pinned to the tree with a stick. Eventually I caught him out there mid-dig. I asked him what he was doing and he straight up said, "I'm hiding my treasure. No one must know. And this is the perfect hiding spot." I told him calmly, "Hey, this is my yard. You can't dig here." He got a little huffy but ran off, and I figured that was the end of it. Nope. Next day, there's a newer, bigger hole. A tin lunchbox half buried behind the shed. I dig it up and it's full of Pokemon cards, fake jewelry.
Sell that shit.
Sell that Pokemon
Sell that
cards.
fucking shit. Keep those fucking Pokemon cards. You're right. This was the perfect place to hide your treasure.
You're right.
It's mine now.
These are mine.
Yep.
Toy coins and a few crumpled up $5 bills. I bring it to his mom and explain what's going on. So already you're better than us. We were going to keep that shit.
No, I would have gave everything back with the Pokemon cards.
Hell no. Be like, you want to be a pirate, bitch? This is what it means like to be a pirate. X marks the spot and I'm cashing them bitches.
Finders keepers.
Exactly.
She immediately gets defensive. No apology. just a heavy sigh, and said, well, he's using his imagination, and I think it's sweet. I told her I didn't.
Fuck that.
I told her I didn't mind the creativity, just not in my yard. She rolled her eyes and said, can't you just let him have this? It's not like your grass is that nice anyway.
It doesn't matter if I have a gravel lot. Bitch.
Exactly.
You got your own yard.
You know what's not making it better? Your fucking kid. This one actually stunned me. I said, as politely as possible, that I didn't want holes being dug up on my property by someone else's kid. I handed over the box and left. That night, she sent me a long text telling me I humiliated her son, crushed his imagination, and created an environment where children can't feel safe being children.
You're lucky that this is a normal human. Imagine if this was some fucking, God forbid, some fucking creep or what's that movie? I just saw that clip on TikTok, so that's why I'm thinking of it. The Lovely Bones thing with Stanley Tucci.
Yeah.
I'm like, this fucker. Like, you just going on in random people's backyards. I feel like you're a bad parent. You don't know where your kid is. Just in random backyards? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, insane. She said he cried for over an hour and now thinks I'm the villain in his story, which were her words. I didn't reply. I get it. He's a kid. I didn't yell. I didn't shame him. And I even gave the stuff back. But I'm not thrilled about my yard being turned into a sandbox and getting insulted for not being okay with it. So am I the asshole for drawing a line and not entertaining a pirate storyline that involves my yard getting wrecked?
I think this is the first time where I've been fully fuck them kids, actually. Like, I'm usually a little bit reserved on the fuck them kids.
Man,
I'm 1,000% fuck them kids on this one. Because ain't no fucking way I'm going to have a random kid in my backyard. One, that's just a liability on me now. Because now I got a strain like it on my property. That looks weird everywhere on me. Everyone's like, dude, why does that neighbor let kids in his yard? So I'm sorry. And then two, you have to fix that probably.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like she's not going to do it.
No.
Like the pirate's parent isn't going to do shit. Yeah. And it's just, I don't know. It's just all around like, that's such weird activity from the mom. I feel like it's not a crazy thing to not want random people, kids or not, in your yard. Yeah. Like front yard, I could see where like maybe he got confused on where his yard starts and where your yard begins. You know what I mean? You know,
it's 2 houses over, brother.
Yeah, that's what
2 houses over. Oh shit.
There's a house in between.
But I mean, like, but for sure, backyard. Even if it was next door or 2 houses over, backyard is a backyard. You know that's not yours. There's a fence around it.
Exactly.
So it's like there's no confusion there at all. So, and it's just, I feel like, sure, kids play outside for sure. I love that. I'm super happy. The pirate shit is cool. You got to know where your kid is, right? Yeah. You can't just leave your 10-year-old out. I mean, and maybe this is the American in me. I know in other countries it's no big deal. You could leave your kids out. It's a pretty safe place. I don't know. I feel like not a good idea, not good parenting. And yeah, I think the mom's a piece of shit. I feel like if your kid's creativity is crushed by this one moment, that may be more on you, brother. Like that. Like, are you not doing enough to foster the creativity?
Yeah, you could have also framed it to your kid better and been like, hey, listen, like, love that you're pirating, but just keep it to our yard. Like, there's a way where you could still.
It's because she doesn't want the goddamn holes in her yard.
No, well, exactly. I mean, obviously. And so she should understand why he doesn't. It's so fucking stupid.
Y'all know my piece. I fucking hate kids. You know, your mom could have been on theme and says, hey, kid, keep this on our yard. But, you know, but hey, I understand kids have creativities. You know, they have to display that. But I don't give a damn if you're 9, 10, 15, whatever. You're not like you're not off the hook on that shit, right? Like, and as a parent, you got to be able to like teach your kids as young as possible to be like, hey, when people tell you that, hey, they don't want you doing these type of things, especially if it's someone's property, you got to respect the boundary that they put. And look, if the parent is like this, being a brat, chances are the kid is bratty as hell.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
You're teaching your kid not to respect other people's properties and crossing lines where they shouldn't be crossing. I agree with what Sean said. If I was a neighbor and I saw like, that ain't your kid. What the hell is that kid doing in the backyard? Bro, I would call the cops so fast. I'm like, I think there's some illegal activity going on.
There's some weird grooming shit going on next door, I think. He keeps inviting a child over to dig holes.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable.
Yeah, that's so damn weird, bro. Like, yeah, fuck that parent.
So that one Parks and Rec scene where they're like, we plan on building a park, sign the petition to get it built. And he's like, oh, that's excellent news. I can't wait. And he's signing it. And they're like, oh, how old's your kid? He said, I don't have any. They're like, oh no.
Reddit agreed with you guys, said not the asshole. Someone you don't know, 70 said, not the asshole. His mom needs to teach him respect of others' properties. You don't get to do whatever the hell you want as a kid in the name of using your imagination. Maybe he should use his imagination to pretend that he's buried his treasure in your yard while actually leaving it intact. I think that would be more constructive use of it. His mom is on the hook for teaching her kid to channel his creative impulse into productive endeavors, not destructive ones. When he grows up, unable to properly establish relationships, he'll realize that his problem stems from the fact that he was never taught to respect others. When that time comes, he'll see that his mom is the actual villain in his story.
Yeah, it's big on like what John said on teaching your kids like boundaries and stuff.
Yeah.
Like my sister has like kids that are in elementary school, and she's like, it's always so important to like teach them at an early age, like you can't get what you want. You know what I mean? Like you gotta respect other people. It's like they're at that age, they're so
they're malleable.
Yeah, their minds are so open to be built. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like at that point, like 10 years old, like you gotta really be teaching them. Like when somebody tells you no, it's a no. You know what I mean? Not everyone is gonna want to hang out with you. Not everyone's gonna want to do things with you. Not everyone wants you to dig holes in their backyard.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When I was like walking Kevin this one time, Kevin does not like kids either because he was chased by them in like such an early
Like
age.
father, like son.
Yeah, like traumatized by kids. And I was walking them, and then there was this little girl with his mom, basically, with her mom, and then I can hear them already in the background saying like, "Hey, I want to go say hi to the dog," and the mom was like, "Well, make sure you ask them first if it's okay."
Right.
So then like they were approaching me, and they were just like, "Hey, can I pet your dog?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," like. He gets really like skittish with kids, like, and Kevin was already kind of hiding behind me, right? I was like, he's really skittish. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I would let you, but I don't know how he'll react. And the kid was sad, but she was like, oh, okay. And then walked back to her. That's perfect parenting right there, bro. Like, that's how it should be.
Yes, exactly. Asking for permission, taking whatever the person says, and then just being like, okay, you know what? That's fine. And then
again, not parents, but like how, like when you teach your kid such entitlement and like, oh yeah, you should be able to do it because you're a kid. That's why we're dealing with assholes now.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's so true. All right. Let's move on to the next one here. And this one is a bit of a 3-parter.
Whoa.
This might be the first time or maybe second time we've ever done this, where I was in a post, read some comments about a previous post the OP had made, and went to that post to check it out. So we're going to check out the original post. And then
I did something similar.
Oh yeah, you've done something similar too. Yeah.
But never am I the asshole. So this is.
Yeah, I think I've done this once before. But
okay, just kidding. Don't listen to anything I ever said.
Sean may have done that accidentally, to be honest.
Well, you know.
I did it on purpose. I'm a big boy. And I only remember because it was last month.
But yeah, so basically we're going to start with their first ever post on Am I the Asshole?
Oh,
and then we'll go into the actual meat and potatoes, which is the one I was reading originally, which is a
This motherfucker's going to end up on Am I the Devil?
So this one is posted by Jolly Midscore Information 385. Title is, Am I the Asshole for being frustrated with my boyfriend for not agreeing to rent a moving truck sooner?
You wouldn't be an asshole for that. That's a lot of logistics that you got to think of. Prices do go up by day, so I don't blame you. If you're getting a moving truck too, chances are you've been planning to move for quite a bit.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like this is just one of the, oh man, I should have bought plane tickets a month ago. They would have been cheaper. It's just shit happens. It's not like a huge, nobody's really an asshole. It's kind of just unless it's like he wanted to get one and then, or he told you, hey, like book one. And then you're like, yeah, I got you. And then you're about to move tomorrow and you're like, oh, I didn't do that. That's pretty rough. But again, I don't know if that makes you an asshole. Things happen. I don't know. I'm pretty forgetful, so I'm kind of forgiven on that stuff.
Fair enough. All right. So my 26 female boyfriend, 27 male, and I decided to move to a big city nearby on February 1st because we found a good deal on an apartment and are looking for better work opportunities. We were living separately in a nearby state about an hour away, and this is our first time moving in together. I broke my lease to make this move, but my landlord is nice and allowed me to vacate my apartment officially by February 28th. Early on, I suggested we rent a moving truck to make things easier, but my boyfriend was adamant that it would cost less if we used my hatchback car. He said it would just take a couple of trips. I disagreed, but I let it go. I couldn't force him.
And those cars are pretty small though, right?
Hatchbacks, yeah, they're not huge.
They're not. Yeah.
I feel like they're short because the way the trunk is, it's probably smaller.
Yeah.
You could fit more in a pickup truck for sure.
Absolutely.
And then
Yeah.
definitely way more in a moving truck.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
When it came time to move his stuff, it ended up taking 3 days and 3 separate trips with my car full because of how much stuff he had. In brackets, he's a chef and has lots of kitchen appliances, dry goods, and ingredients. Keep in mind, his lease was up in February 1st, and he didn't get his stuff out until the 3rd. Also, I'm the one doing all the driving, and the gas and the tolls for the round trips are expensive. My parents were generous enough to help cover the tolls, but still. He did handle most of the heavy lifting, but I'm the one driving back and forth, which has been exhausting. The plan was to move all his stuff and half of mine as well as my cat on February 1st. I had a dental procedure scheduled for the 10th back in our home state, so the plan was for me to grab the rest of my stuff then since my landlord is being generous. But because of how long his move took and the issues with our new mattress not arriving until February 4th, that didn't happen. If my landlord wasn't nice enough to let me stay, our only choice would have been to stay in our new apartment with no mattress, while the rest of our stuff sits in my old apartment. To make things worse, he decided to wait until today, the 10th, to pick up a couch his grandparents offered us. He insisted the couch, a king-size mattress, my cat, and the rest of my stuff would fit in my hatchback.
Boy, do you not know how Tetris works? Have you ever played that game? Because I don't think you have.
Holy. This is physically impossible. I finally put my foot down. I told him I wasn't doing it. And after a lot of arguing, he finally agreed to rent a moving truck. Now it's the 10th. I'm in pain from my dental procedure, still having to deal with moving the couch, mattress, my cat, and half my stuff. I can't help but feel like all the stress, gas, and toll money and exhaustion could have been avoided if he just listened to me from the start. I thought we could enjoy our new apartment this week, but the issues with our mattress and moving his stuff has left our beautiful new apartment sitting empty with half our stuff there. He thinks I'm overreacting and being negative about the whole thing. I feel like my frustration is valid, but I also feel guilty for bringing it up because of the late mattress being out of our control, and he's been doing a lot of the heavy lifting. So am I the asshole?
I'll say no.
This would have been avoidable if you had just listened from the first one trip. Yes, I think moving trucks can get pretty pricey, but I would rather do it all in one time than have to do it a bunch of times. I feel like, especially when people are like, people like me who are like, when I get in motion, like I stay in motion type of shit kind of person. And if I have to keep doing that multiple trips, that shit is exhausting. And I don't even want to do anything. And she has a dental procedure coming up, bro. Like that's stressful in my mind if I have to go through that and doing all the moving. Yeah, bro. He should have just listened from the jump. And I don't know why he's tripping about it, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like if somebody is like, hey, I want to do the moving thing, moving truck, and then the other person's solution is like, no, let's just use your car. Right then, I'd be like, well, you're at a disadvantage, sir, because that's my car. And I already said I want to do a moving truck. So we're not using my car. That's for sure. Like, if I was OP, I would have been like, we're not using my car. I don't know how to tell you that. That's just not going to happen. So it's either your moving truck or you figure it out. And especially when he's the one with most of the stuff, too.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, I get he's doing the heavy lifting. That's also work. But for me, I would have just been like, all right, here are the tolls we're going to do. Here's probably the minimum amount of trips we're going to do. Here's the gas and the mileage. I think it might be, if we are saving money from the moving truck, I don't think it's a lot. I don't think we're saving that much more money. And probably, if anything, we're losing money on this thing. As opposed to
time. Like you're
definitely
losing time.
Time is
Yeah.
So
the
it's
most
just
valuable
like,
thing.
yeah, now going forward, hopefully I'll get past this. I don't know if this is no,
this isn't like the end.
I don't think this is a breakup,
kind of thing.
end of the world type of situation. I do think this is when everything is settled, you should bring out the math and be like, the time that we spent doing this and the effort, we could have, saved money and got it done faster, So maybe instead of just like making decisions kind of based on what we think will happen, we can kind of, I don't know, improve on our decision-making process. Cause I don't think it's like relationship over. I think it's just, you need to have a sit down talk with him and just
For
be
sure.
like, look, I'm not being petty. I'm just saying like,
This
that was a lot of work. We could have avoided all of it. A lot of stress.
Yeah.
And we could have just, for future, situations like this, let's have more of a discussion.
I'm gonna be honest. I think it even needs to be less than that. Just if he was like, "I'm sorry, we should have gone with the moving."
But it sounds like he's not saying, "I'm sorry."
I'm just saying, like, I'm giving him advice now. I guess.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of where I'm going. Yeah, I'm just like, because at the end of the day, it's like you're gonna make mistakes in life. It happens.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Overestimate how much you think a hatchback can carry. You know what I mean? And then it fucks up your moving plans. That's gonna happen. Moving stressful. At the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. Just apologize and be like, yeah, you're right. We probably should have gone with this first. And OP's not the asshole for thinking that. But this post didn't get a lot of love. The only reason I went back was to get a view on
the original.
Yeah, the original post before we go into the next one. And this was the top voted comment. Apart from scene 9059, quoted OP and said, "I disagreed, but let it go because I couldn't force him," end quote. And then they say, "You're using your car. You could have said no and literally left him with no choice. You literally could have forced him. Yes, your boyfriend had a bad idea, but you agreed and went along with it." So they're saying you're kind of culpable because you could have forced him. But I mean, at the end of the day, your boyfriend's an adult as well. So.
Yeah.
It's hard to put it's kind of just hard to put the blame on OP too, because it's like there's a deadline.
Right.
If this was like such an open-ended, like, hey, we can move this shit whenever we want, but because there's such a tight deadline and you are at a mercy of someone's generosity of saying like, yeah, you can move your stuff as now.
Mm-hmm.
I think OP was kind of like forced in this situation, which is pretty unfortunate in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if I fully agree with that, but it's like,
I don't for sure.
Yeah. Sean was saying this, like you could have been like, no, we're not using my car.
That way.
So
I might have done that.
Yeah. And it would have saved you a lot of time and headache. But I mean, again, hindsight is 2020. If he just apologizes, this is not that big of a deal at the end of the day.
For sure.
All right. So this is where it brings me to the Boru that I saw, the best of Redditor update. Posted, I think this was March 16th. So this was a month after they had moved in.
This was recent, like this year?
Yeah, this year.
Oh.
Yeah. So the title is, "Am I the asshole for leaving my boyfriend after finding a woman in our bed?"
Yikes.
Why would you be an asshole for leaving them if you find a woman in your bed? Come on now. What the fuck?
And again, this is the same poster from the last post we just read. So the storyline continues. So I, 26 female, am going on a trip to London with my sister today. I've been staying with her since yesterday because she lives close to the airport. I realized I forgot to pack my passport at the apartment where my boyfriend, 27 male, and I live together. And I had time to go back and get it, so I did. I texted him this morning to let him know I was coming back to get my passport, but he didn't respond.
He was busy, bro.
When I got there, he looked really antsy and suspicious. I went into our bedroom and found a woman I don't recognize lying there in our bed, fully clothed. I just went on autopilot, grabbed my passport, told him we're over, and left. Now my boyfriend is blowing up my phone saying that the woman is his longtime friend and that she's a lesbian who needed a place to crash for the night. I don't believe him because he's never mentioned anything about her staying over while I was gone, and the whole situation feels off. He says I'm making a huge mistake and that he's telling the truth, but honestly, I'm just really hurt and confused. He's begging for me to hear him out and is apologizing, but the whole situation is not right. Should I believe his explanation or is my gut telling him the truth? We just signed a lease 2 months ago and I'm literally leaving the country today, so it's a horrible and stressful situation. So am I the asshole?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I I'm also sussed out about it because it's like, all right, if this is such a long time friend, and if someone is gonna stay at your place at maybe some sort of periods of time, that should have been a conversation to be had.
Yeah, because y'all share the rent.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. And of course, the optics and everything sounds weird, or like it looks weird and it feels weird. But I don't know. Like, why couldn't they just have a conversation and say like, hey, by the way, you're gonna be out of town. My friend needs some help. Is it okay if they stay over?
Mhm.
It's as simple as that.
But even if they're staying over, it's like not in my fucking bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you're gonna stay on a
the
couch.
couch?
Or
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, why are you in my bedroom alone together when you could be like if they were in the living room? Sure, fine.
Yeah.
That's a little bit more explainable and understandable. But you're literally in my private area, or like ours together, obviously. But it like without me there, without me knowing, that's like red flags, alarm bells going
I
off.
think if they had known, I think in the bed, like, because we've had situations where we've had friends sleep over, and then we'll let like our family, and we'll let them sleep in our bedroom. We'll
For
sleep
sure.
on the couch.
Yeah.
But the main thing I think is the not having a conversation is the bad part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you walk in antsy, and then, you know, what am I supposed to think? You know,
Mhm.
I see another woman in my bed. What am I supposed to think? And there's no explanation that could be had besides the, you know, I mean, it's too late for the explanation.
Yeah.
The trust is already gone. It's, that's a tough one. I mean, it's not a tough one. It's pretty easy to break up. Because it's just, there's no respect. There's no nothing. Because y'all are sharing the rent. Y'all are, that's a shared space. I don't want any, like, if Nancy or I have any friends that are coming over, let alone sleeping over, just coming over.
Yeah.
We let each other know, like, we're like, hey, is it cool if somebody comes this day?
Mhm.
You know, things like that. Never would we ever surprise somebody like that, because again, it's a shared living space.
Yep.
You know, maybe we aren't comfortable with the way the house currently is to have somebody there, or maybe we aren't comfortable having them in certain areas of the house. Things like that. These are like all things for discussion.
Yeah.
I get it that you just moved in like 2 months ago, but it's just common fucking courtesy, I think.
Look, because it's a Boru, I know there's a third part in there. There's got to be some crazy ass plot twists.
Well, I'll get to the verdict was not the asshole. And then a couple relevant questions here, which OP responds to. So, first comment, they ask a question: is this the straw that broke the camel's back? Even if she is a lesbian, would him not mentioning it just be another thing on the list? Looking at your previous post, it seems like it's not the only issue you've had as a couple. The real thing to ask yourself is, are the good things worth it, whether it was genuinely just a miscommunication or not? Not the asshole depending on other issues. To which OP responded, him not mentioning it is the deal breaker for me, because we agreed not to have guests without telling each other beforehand. We established this as a boundary while living together.
Yup.
We struggled emotionally during the moving process because he was stubborn and I was a pushover and didn't advocate for my own needs, as seen in my previous post. I chalked it up to moving stress. Other than that, he's been a good partner and I haven't had any reason to believe he's cheating, and I feel very blindsided. Next comment said, I mean, if she needed a place to stay, was the couch not sufficient? I'd be pissed even if it was 2 dudes or 2 women, whatever. That's our bed. I wouldn't want anyone else in it.
Yep.
To which OP said, we have a pull-out couch, so it's definitely not sufficient enough. So that clarifies they do have other places where someone could sleep if need be. But
yeah, it's a disrespecting the boundary is like the most egregious shit.
Yeah. So double whammy there, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Nancy and I might be too hospitable. A lot of people seem to think that's weird. I whenever we have guests over, we try to make our guests have a more comfortable time than we do.
Yeah, I think it depends on who it is. Like, there was a time when we had a really shitty like guest setup, where it was like a blow up mattress basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever like my parents came over, I would be like, yeah, you can take you guys are almost 60. It's fine. Take the bedroom. We'll sleep on the mattress for the weekend, whatever.
Yeah.
But now we have like a guest bed set up, so they sleep there now. So it's like, how comfortable am I making you uncomfortable in my household, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just depends on different people.
That's true.
All right. So here's the update 10 days later. I went to London with my sister. I told my ex I wouldn't be speaking to him, and I enjoyed our girls' trip. As soon as I returned to the USA, I went and got tested for STIs. And it turns out he gave me chlamydia.
Jesus.
Yeah.
My goodness.
So not a lesbian.
Well, I mean, it might not have
I
been
guess she
her.
could be, and he could be cheating on
Someone
other
else.
people. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm being treated for it right now, but I'm going to see a gynecologist soon because I'm not sure how long I've had it because I'm asymptomatic. I last tested negative for all STIs in July 2023, right before I started seeing my ex. He's the only person I've been with since then, so he obviously gave it to me. I'm worried he's had it this entire time, and so have I. But I'm trying not to overthink the cheating/timeline of the chlamydia. I want to focus on my health, and he's never admitted to cheating. We're still broken up, and I don't plan on going back to him. Since we just signed our brand new lease back in February, we're discussing what to do about the apartment. I've been staying with my sister since we got back, so I'm thankful I'm not stuck in the apartment without a support system. I really appreciate everyone's advice. I've never been in this situation before. I was so embarrassed to tell my family at first, so I went to strangers on the internet. I probably won't update this post ever again since there isn't much else to say. Thank you all for help validating my confidence to leave him.
I wonder if the suggestion of using their car to move stuff is a deliberate plan so they can low-key have the time to cheat or the opportunity to cheat. Because if it was just like a one-time, like, hey, let's get a moving truck type of sitch, it'd be like a 1 day, 2 day type of shit, right? But because it's split to how many different days, those are more opportunities for a possible empty space or like just time in general to be like, hey, my girlfriend's busy moving shit. Come on over here.
I'm not saying no because I wouldn't put it past this guy. I'm just saying I think he's also going on these trips with her.
Because you say this is getting the
Yeah, he's doing the heavy lifting.
carrying stuff. Gotcha. Well,
I'm not. I don't love the creative. I love the creativity. That's and I wouldn't put it past this motherfucker. But I think I found a hole. But and so
he
did
did too. Apparently, yeah.
Too many
Tuesdays are still vibing.
I hate that for me.
All right. One more short one here before we get into the update that I teased at the beginning of the episode.
Oh my goodness.
As well as the Patreon stories. So
get ready to come, Wikimaniacs. Oh, to the story.
Yeah.
When you went, we're climaxing, all of us.
All right. So this one was cross-posted on our subreddit, r/Reddit on Wiki by Cole CCJ88. Title is, Am I overreacting? My wife opened the door for a stranger.
In your house? Because I would feel well, no, because I don't open the door, so she doesn't either. So I don't know. I don't trust people.
That's fair.
I mean, I don't think this is, I don't think this is a reason to get pissed off and yell at somebody. I think this is just like, all right, well, that was a bad interaction, so maybe let's not open the door for strangers type of thing.
Unless you let those people who talk about Bibles and shit go to my house, because then I'd start fucking speaking in Latin just to fucking scare them.
Yeah, but you would like that because that'd be fun for you.
Yeah, that's
it would
true.
be fun for me, but I'd hate it at the same time.
That was like we just had our elections, and so like the amount of door knockers we had was getting insane. And every time I was like, "Yeah, I'm voting for you." I just said it to everyone that opened the door.
No, one time Juliet set me up, bro. She was like, "Hey, I think that's one of my packages outside. Can you get it and sign it for me, please?" And then it was some fucking, "Hey, would you like to get your windows replaced?" I'm like, "Fuck, this is awkward."
All right. So I went to bed last night at 7 as I had to get up early. Some pestering salesman knocked on our door. I don't know why the fuck he was out at 8 p.m. trying to get a sale, but she, my wife, opened the door anyway. I told her several times in the past, never, ever, ever, ever open the door. Only let me open it. We can't have a Ring camera in our apartment and our door does not have a peephole, but she opened it anyway. When I found out this morning, I was pretty mad considering both our kids were home and awake and I was not. So am I the asshole?
I think there are a little bit more context needed for like where they're at located geographically. Cause I will kind of say I've lived in areas that are high crime and like there are situations that, like people bust through your doors and type of shit. So like, I think part of me is like, look, it is a red flag hearing someone says like, only I can open the door, because that's kind of like a controlling type of thing. But if they do live in an area where it's like not as safe, and because like to me, they also threw out that, hey, the children are home as well. Part of me is thinking that like, hey, maybe where they live is kind of unsafe, and I can kind of see why it'd be like, hey, don't do this shit, especially 8 at night. I could see it happening around like afternoon. And if they reacted like that, I'm like, okay, don't be tripping like that. But 8 p.m., it is a little sus for me.
I guess that is late. The sun is down.
It is.
Not right now. It's usually up around 8.
I mean, who the fuck's trying to make us, always be selling? But 8 p.m., I don't know. I have a lot. I get my fucking like, senses are always like, yeah, this is not a safe situation. I can understand where they're coming from, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's mostly just the wording that is like,
yeah,
I don't know if this guy's a good guy.
Yeah, because the only let me open the door really like sounds like you restrict your wife from opening the door. It's not like she let him in and was like, oh, come on into my house. Like she could have just peeked it open and then said like, we're not interested, and then closed the door. Like we have no idea how.
There's zero context or details in this story at all.
How far this went. You know what I mean? Like it could have been just that. Because I mean, someone knocks at your door, you're gonna probably answer it if you don't have a ring or a camera. You know what I mean? Like, or a peephole. Like you're gonna be like, yeah, can I help you? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I just wouldn't open the door.
No, that's fair. That's your own. Yeah. But to put restrictions on your wife to never ever open it is wild to me. Again, I've never lived in high crime area. I'm in Canada. We're pretty safe in most areas. So,
I've pretty much always lived in the burbs, and when I didn't live in the burbs, I had a peephole.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact feeling of this, to be quite honest.
There'll be times like when I used to live in like not safe place. Sometimes I'll be having like a pocket knife like behind me just in case a bitch would. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like always have like one foot in the back, so just in case I can like jam it, and I also have like a pocket knife the back of my hand just in case someone try to like barge in. I'm looking for it from that perspective. I just think like, yes, there is red flags in the way saying, but like I heard, hey, the children are here too. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're in like protective mode, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, if that was his main concern, but like the only let me open it, never ever open the door.
That part kind of pissed me off a little bit.
It definitely gives me red flags for sure. And it's funny how you approach opening the door is like on guard, and I'm just like, I don't want to see them in my sweatpants.
Oh, bro, like it's something. Like I said, I've lived in not fun places, and it hardens you and it kind of scars you a little bit sometimes.
So Reddit deemed asshole, and specific mid-volume of 118 said, I get being cautious about who you let into your home, but at the same time, the quote, you can't open the door without my supervision is a wild rule to have and be mad about.
Yep.
So I don't do this to every commenter, but I did want to get some more context about who this person is. So I checked their comment history.
The comment for OP?
OP. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, not the commenter there. No. For OP of this post, not a good dude.
There you go. That answers our question then.
A ton of sexist, racist, and fatphobic comments on many different subreddits. So real hard to give him the benefit of the doubt here that he's nothing.
Well, I wish I had fucking known.
It's like we've said this a couple of times. Like all three of us have said like some form of, if more details made them look better, they would have written that.
Yes.
So this is like a prime example of no details, meaning you're probably a dickhead.
Yeah, you're leaving things out that would.
Like when you leave things out intentionally, it seems that way.
Mm-hmm. And the stuff you left in was not great.
No.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's time for the update that I promised you all.
Oh,
once again, if you haven't listened to last week's episode, last Friday's episode, go check it out and check out the story, Am I the Asshole for Stopping My Boyfriend's Proposal at Our Best Friend's Wedding?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's hear it.
Also on our Reels and TikTok, I believe. So if you just want a shorthand version, that's also available. So this is the update to that story. Quick summary. Boyfriend proposed or was going to propose at their friend's wedding. She shot that down.
Like, hey, not right now.
Not right now.
Not
sometime
right now.
later.
Definitely later.
Yeah.
Don't
yeah.
overreact to this because I'm definitely saying yes, just not right now.
Exactly.
You
And then he
embarrassed
overreacts.
me.
And then he overreacts big time.
He overreacted big time, left the wedding, ignored her the entire night, and then proceeded to say that she was the asshole for saying no and shutting down the wedding, or not, that she didn't want the proposal was his thought process.
John gave a good impression there.
Yes.
That you embarrassed me.
So this is the update to that story. 2 days later, after I got home from the wedding, my boyfriend and I texted back and forth. After he went to bed, I made my Reddit post because I absolutely felt like an asshole. I was second guessing everything, and I thought the night would have gone better if I had just let him do his thing.
Hell no.
No, hell no.
Yeah. After seeing the response to my post, I'm more solidified in the fact that I made the right decision. Yes, the night was ruined, but I'd be more comfortable with my life moving forward, which I think is fair.
Mm-hmm.
I gave my boyfriend and myself a day to think about this and come back with clearer heads, and that was yesterday. I took a lot of people's advice and tried to reflect on if this behavior was a grand showing of any smaller reactions. The stonewalling isn't super new. In fights at the start of our relationship, he would get quiet and make small showings of secluding himself. I counter this by giving my boyfriend his space and telling him that moving forward, to just say he didn't have the words to talk right now, and we can reconvene when we're ready to talk. This worked for us. It gave him time to choose his words, and we'd have a good discussion on what went wrong and how we could fix it moving forward. I didn't think that he was overtly trying to make me feel worse by the silent treatment back then. However, ignoring me for the rest of our time at the wedding hurt so much. Not even saying, quote, I just need space right now, and refusing to hold my hand by pulling away felt like he was pseudo-counter rejecting me. This was a first, and I felt like he was trying to make me feel worse through his lack of communication. That's all I noticed. I've had partners be verbally abusive to me before, and another who wasn't willing to talk about things they did wrong / refused to take the blame.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
That's a huge pet peeve of mine. It's just never being able to say
I'm
my
wrong.
bad,
They're
or
sorry,
I'm wrong,
yeah.
or I'm sorry. Oh God, it grinds my gear.
My boyfriend hasn't done any of that. I'm not saying I recognize all the patterns of abuse, but I'll say I'm versed in a few. There's also been no real history of me catering to him constantly as others were asking. If either person had strong feelings one way or the other in different scenarios, we'd often be fine with that person getting their way. Otherwise, if we both didn't care all that much, he used to love a wheel spinning website to make decisions, and I think it's cute. Oh, he loves to use a wheel spinning website to make decisions, and I think it's cute. I do use that as well.
We roll a 20-sided die in this house.
That's fair. Yeah. We met earlier today. He came over and we sat in my living room. He broke down. He vehemently apologized and said he felt like an asshole. Oh. We love reflection.
We love to see it.
He said he'd been reflecting all of yesterday and talking to his dad about the situation. His dad got mad at him and talked him off of his ego crash.
Oh,
Which
what
were
a good dad.
Which
Love
were
to
his
see
words,
it.
not mine. He had already sent a message to our friends now flying on their honeymoon in West Europe, apologizing for making their most important day about him and not properly celebrating them. I asked why he neglected our conversation from months before, which was when they talked about...
When he joked about it.
Joked
and
about
then they were all
proposing.
like, what a terrible idea. And he said, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
He said that the groom and their group of friends had egged him on in private since then, not to propose at the wedding, but to do it soon. So even they were like...
So even they, they were like,
bro,
bad idea, brother.
You should propose.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it still.
But not at the wedding.
It's like the 2-factor authentication. You had 2 walls telling you not to do it.
Still broken.
I'm going to do it.
He didn't originally plan on doing it at the wedding. He said he's had the ring with him for a few months, never had any real plan, and wanted it just to be spontaneous. He told me he got caught up in the atmosphere of the wedding, saw his best friend with his girl, and couldn't stop picturing us in the same scenario. His urge overran his common sense, in his terms, and he made a choice he ultimately wishes he could take back. It very much spiraled from there.
Oh, man. The clinging of the glass and standing up is so tough. That's so tough. And not in a good way tough.
No.
Like a terrible tough.
Yeah.
And I see his girlfriend's like, hey, yo, no. And he's like, never mind. Cancel the action, please.
It was a joke.
I noted that while his heart was in the right place, that doesn't excuse the shitstorm he put me through after. I expressed to him that ignoring me really hurt me, that him saying my rejection to his proposal was the reason for his embarrassment and the shutdown was unfair, especially since that we already had established for him not to do that. He accepted this and continued to apologize, admitting that it was very unfair of him and that he should have handled his emotions and embarrassment better, especially towards me.
Love to hear this.
We had a lull in our conversation after he asked, where do we go from here? At this point, I didn't want to just return back to normal. A day where I expressed to him I felt the prettiest in a long time, expected us to have enormous amounts of fun, and watch our best friends have their moment to shine, turned into a day where I was crying in my room reading Reddit comments about how I should just break up with him. I genuinely thought I was the asshole who should have just bit the bullet and accepted a proposal in the way that I and others thought wasn't okay. I told him that if we were to move forward, he needs to seek therapy to help him manage his emotions. Not only from this, but other signs that he may have a panic disorder. My mom works for a mental health clinic and has offered resources before. I said that I needed time to rebuild my trust in him, and he understood and is going to seek mental health resources through my mom's clinic. Until then, we will be on a week or so break with an open channel of communication. He's going to find an appropriate channel to better himself, and I'm going to take myself on a mini vacation after the emotional roller coaster that was this weekend. We did talk about what each other's ideal proposal was, something we should have talked about before the trigger was even pulled. I said that I didn't care for anything fancy, I just preferred it not to be in public.
God, you had two rules and you broke both.
You broke both of them.
Well, to be fair, they talked about this after the fact.
This is a post rule. Got it.
Yeah, so.
He probably doesn't want to do it in public either, if he's being quite honest.
Anymore.
Calling up all his friends. Hey, who's the next one getting married, bro?
No, please.
Hey, yo, who's next? Who's next?
He said he wanted to make a grand showing of love to me and didn't care where or how. He asked if it was okay to have friends and family present or if that broke my public rule. I said that was fine and was happy with the communicative compromise. I also stated that I didn't want to be proposed to for a while so that we could let this situation rest and figure ourselves out from here. And he accepted this. Something I thought was really sweet that I wanted to mention before he left, he said, I do think I owe you some dancing. And so we slow danced in my living room for about a half hour until he left. A small romantic action, props to earn some brownie points. But the conversation did reassure me that he's willing to try and be better. Nice. He recognized he was in the wrong and that a joyful day was robbed by pride and not rejection. This was about as ideal of an outcome as I'd hoped for. Thank you all for taking the time out of your day to reply and bringing me back to earth. Thank you for those who messaged me in private to make sure I was okay or to give input. While the future is still obscure, it's a little clearer than it was a couple days ago. I have a clear understanding of what I want and what's healthy moving forward. I will do every ounce of weighing before I enter what should be the most important commitment you can make to a person you love, and I'll keep an even more careful eye on his behavior and how he may react to adverse situations. I hope you all have. Thank you. I couldn't get through that last sentence.
Hey, that back really affecting his reading. Hey, was the boyfriend an absolute dumbass? Absolutely, but
sure.
it is nice to see a dumbass wanting to learn from the mistakes that they made, and it's not. For me, like it is refreshing to hear something that's like, hey, someone that is not just doing a performative, I'm so sorry, I wish I could make it up to you. This guy seems like he's willing to put the hard work in to earn her trust back. And also, I am incredibly proud of her because at first she was blaming herself in situations like, oh, I should have just sucked it up and just went with the flow. But instead, I think this whole situation taught her that, hey, she was in situations like this before, and I'm not saying she kind of just brushed through it, but now she's recognizing, I deserve better than this, and I deserve to have someone who will listen to the shit that I want. And good on her for putting her boundaries and being strong about it. And she could have easily broke up with the guy, and which she would have had all the reasons to, which is fair. But it seems like he's willing to put in the work. I'm incredibly proud of the self-realization first and foremost, but I wish them the luck. This is an adult problem that they had, and I wish they can overcome it. And it seemed like, they're on the way of like, if they're going to end up getting married someday, like at least they know that, hey, we could sit down, solve an issue that we have, and we can work on it together. But I wish them luck. That's all I could say.
Yeah. Heavy agree with John. I don't remember how hard we went on him. I imagine we went pretty hard.
Pretty hard, yeah.
We probably went pretty hard. But he deserved it. He was being a real dumbass. We learned he was being an even bigger dumbass whenever he was like, I even talked to the guys about it, and they egged me on. On a different day, but they still egged me on.
They said not the wedding day.
I was like, all right. So this guy is kind of dumb. He will let emotions take over, but it sounds like he's trying to get better at communicating, and it looks like he at least initiated this second talk and apology. So that's kudos to him. That sounds like a big step for him.
Some dudes won't even get to that first step. Like,
no. They'll hear their dad call him a dumbass and be like, well, my dad's just a dumbass, I guess. So kudos to him. Kudos to his dad. Again, like John said, super kudos to OP. She sounds like she's been through some shit. Reddit isn't bad sometimes. I guess it helped her come to the realization like, all right, I'm not tripping. This was stupid and fucked up. So kudos to her. And yeah, just all around, love to see a happy story every once in a while.
Yeah.
Because
or the start of a happy story anyway.
The start of a happy story. I will say this.
Yeah.
I hope they get couples therapy as well as just his own singles therapy, because I'm sure that the singles therapy will help, but also like the couples therapy will help them like how to argue. I am sweating. My God.
Well, it's
because you're hot, buddy. That's why.
I think it's because I'm overweight, if I'm being quite honest.
You can be overweight and hot.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I think, this is a good start to hopefully they continue. Nice touch on the giving dancing time at the end. That was cute. But yeah, hopefully it works out, because it sounds like both of y'all were so sure on, being the ones for each other. Hopefully this one huge, stupid lapse of judgment doesn't ruin that.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like he's trying to be better, and it sounds like he's open to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's asking, he asked for your consent last time. I kind of just fucking blew right past it.
Yeah, he did.
So, I was going to say, at least he's asking, like, would it be okay if we do this? Hopefully he just knows, that was strike 1, 2, and 3. Let's not fuck it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have much more to say. I agree with you guys. I think, did he fuck up? Absolutely. But it does take a big person to realize that, come to that realization and be like, okay, I gotta work on some stuff to become a better person for the person I love. And so talk is easy. It's easy to say these things. The action's the hard part. And so if he goes through with this and actually works to make the change, then I would love that. Nothing more for these two, because OP deserves someone who is, not going to be a dumbass.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're all dumbasses at certain points. We all make mistakes. I'm glad he's owned up to it, and I hope he makes that work to change.
To this day, I'm still wondering why the fuck my wife married me. Like, damn, you said yes to me? Holy shit.
All three of us outshot our coverage, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever the saying is.
We fucking...
Punching? Is that what it's called?
Punching above our weight class.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. That is it, Wikimaniacs. Thank you very much for stopping by, checking out the show. If you like what we do, we got 2 more stories behind the paywall. You can go to patreon.com/Cultivate Podcast Network.
If you've ever written on our subreddit and you're in a precarious marriage situation, we may or may not have read your story on the Patreon.
Yeah.
So I guess you got to sign up. I don't know how else to... We joke, but we did. We did
a listener Mother's Day story. So if that was you, let me know, and I'll gift you a month of Patreon. You can check out that story.
Whoa.
I'm going to do it, Sean.
We got to find a way to make money off this thing.
This man got to take days off so he can record with us.
What the fuck? Do you not want me to be full time or what?
Oh, but if you don't want to sign up for Patreon, you can do so on our YouTube membership. Just click join below the YouTube video or on our channel, and then sign up for that as well. With that, boys, anything to shout out before we close out the episode?
If you found us through Two Mustaches podcast, that is not us.
Yeah,
but
fuck
thank
those.
you for being.
Fuck those guys.
I report them every day and nothing ever happens. They have so much more subscribers and so much more views than us, and no one is coming to us. Well, actually, people are coming to us. Thank you if you came from there. And if you were interactive with them, I'm sorry, that is not us.
No, it's not us at all. We cannot stand by anything they say or comment. So that's not us.
Do they be commenting back to people?
Yeah.
They do.
That's rough. That makes me kind of, more upset than the fact that they're stealing our views and everything.
Yeah.
They have so much views and I'm jealous.
Jealous of it's our content. It's bullshit.
But I want those views. Sean could be with us if we get those views.
That's true.
That's crazy.
That is true. But yeah, that is it, Wikimaniacs. Thank you very much for stopping by. Click like, click subscribe, share with your friends if you really like us. We'll see you on Monday. Bye.
Later.
Therapy.